In this week's video, I'm going to show you how I use this book on game design to turn my home gym from this to this, and why I think it could be a useful tool to being a more consistent runner.
In the first 4 months of last year, I ran 1,500 kilometers and my fastest marathon ever. In the next 8 months, I also ran 1,500 kilometers. That's a drop of 50% volume. Consistency is key. So, what happened? Well, I didn't get injured. I didn't get sick. My interest just kind of waned. I got burnt out. This year, I'm determined to have a better relationship with running. And this book on game design is going to help me do it. If you're new here, my name is Ben and I'm a runner. I'm also a game designer. Just give me 1 minute and I'll explain why that's relevant. Game design is a weird problem. You come up with a neat idea, you make a prototype to see if it's fun. Then you need to fix all the problems and somehow improve it. But how you do that is not at all straightforward, and every game is different. One of my favorite books on the topic is The Art of Game Design by Jesse Shell. I like this book because it breaks things down into a set of different lenses. A lens is just a perspective through which you can look at your game, and each one comes with a set of questions you can ask to try to hone in on what you need to improve, or add, or change, or remove. Okay, enough running with a book. You're losing them! Okay, quick. How does this apply to running? But I think running is a repetitive hobby. You can get into a groove and things feel really good. But over time, a groove can become a rut without you even noticing. Your enthusiasm wanes. You aren't looking forward to your long run so much. You take a little bit longer looking for a race to add to your calendar. Maybe you skip that strength session because you're in your off season. All of these things happened to me last year, and I suspect it was partly due to me being solely focused on performance. So this year, I'm going to try to improve my relationship with running. I'm going to try to look at running through different perspectives, through different lenses. I consider this a workout to strengthen my consistency, to strengthen my resolve against burnout. Okay, I have a lot more to say about that, but let's put it into practice right now, and I'll chat about it more as we go.
Okay, I just finished up today's 9x3 sub-threshold session, and my heart rate was not quite as high as I wanted it to be. So next time, I think I'm gonna up the pace. That's a pretty exciting result. Unrelated to this video, but hey, pretty cool.
Okay, it's sometime later, and we're going to get this done. That's it for the game design book, by the way. I'm going to be making up my own lenses for this, lenses that are specific to running. And today's lens is going to be the lens of environment. Environment, the physical place where you do your running or your strength training, or in my case, both. Now for today, I'm specifically talking about indoor environments, but you could apply a lot of these questions to your outdoor routes too. But if you do any, say, strength training at home, you should, then you'll find something here that's useful. I like running on my treadmill. I tolerate strength work, if I'm honest. I'm lucky enough to have a space to do both of these at home, and I've set up a functional space. And I usually like coming here. It's fine. I could be done here. But I'm gonna ask myself some questions, try to assess things, and see if I can improve it. So the lens of environment. Your environment should enable and support your running and strength work. So key questions to ask yourself. Is this a place where you can get the work done? Do you physically have enough space? Are the tools you need available? And the second key question, is it a place you actually like spending time in? First project for today, solving this shoe situation. I've got too much junk here. It's just getting worse. It's piling up. So I got myself a shoe rack. Let's put it together. As I easily put together this shoe rack at super speed, there are more questions we can think about. In terms of functionality, is there something you could add to your home gym to improve it? Like maybe a mirror or a fan? Or maybe there's a better layout, especially if you have a home gym that has grown over time as you add new pieces. Instead, think about your workflow. Would it make more sense to rearrange things? Okay, project done. I think that's pretty nice. Okay, next project. Let's add some mirrors, like a proper gym. As I easily hang these mirrors with no editing tricks to edit out big wasted periods of time, let's think about some more questions. How about focus? When you step in your space, is it go time? If you can, remove any distractions. You'll get your work done faster, and it'll probably be more enjoyable.
Okay, all done? I think that turned out all right. Now we got a mirror. Well, 2 mirrors. Okay, next project. Time to hang up some medals.
I'm hanging up my medals mostly because they've just been sitting in a corner, but I really think motivation is a space I have lots of room to improve on here. I could hang up posters, maybe put up a mantra that I like, or any sort of process tracker. This is something I instituted a little while back. I put a little brick on my whiteboard for every treadmill run I do, just so I can see the progress being built over time. It's silly, but it's something I look forward to adding to after every single run.
Okay, that was an easy one. Ta-da! You know, it's not perfect, but it's better than being in a bunch of plastic bags on a shelf. And I can always change it later. Now, the biggest project I have, which honestly I probably should have started with, is these new lights, because it's too dim in here. And these lights, super bright. But this is a bit more of an involved project. This might have to wait for another day. Okay, I've got some of the lights up where I think I want them. Let's try this out. This is very much just a temporary thing. I've got them plugged in with an extension cord. Whoa! All right. That looks way better. Gonna have to go to the hardware store and get some equipment to actually wire this in properly, but I'll finish that up tomorrow. But I like it. See you tomorrow. Okay, that took a little bit longer than I thought, but lighting is all done and wired up to the light switch. We're good. Looks way better in here. I'm pretty happy. Last project. I don't like putting stuff in the treadmill. It bounces around too much, so I just put it over here on this shelf. And this is not a shelf. This sucks. So I got this piece of wood. I'm gonna make a quick shelf. Make this better. Like this. Instantly, so much better. Now, one other tip I have while I was doing this is write down notes for later. Perfect is the enemy of good. I look at this wall and I think it needs drywall, but first it would need insulation, and first I'd want to do outlets here. Jot down those ideas for later. We can make improvements without it being perfect. Okay, let's be real. Is tidying up my gym gonna make me a better runner? Well, actually, I have some thoughts about that. Because maybe there's a day this winter where I don't really feel like coming down to my dark, dingy gym. Maybe I skip that workout. But now, maybe I don't. Maybe I catch my form in the mirror and make an adjustment that helps me out. Maybe I see my medals on the wall and I push through that last rep instead of just giving up. We look for marginal gains in the weirdest places. Why not your environment? These are all tiny, tiny little things, yes. But I think what's important is they're on a totally different axis than just performance, performance, performance. I think if we ask questions, we can gain some new insights and maybe keep the love of the hobby alive. Keep that fire burning bright, you know? That's why we did this. Over time, the grooves we get in can become ruts without us even realizing it. Different lenses can help us ask different questions that we might not otherwise think of. And looking through a lens doesn't mean dropping everything to focus on one tiny little thing. It's a tool. Use it to gain some insight, and then you decide what to do with that extra information. If you use the lens of environment and made a change to your space today, just leave a quick comment below. Who knows, you might inspire someone else to do something similar and maybe improve their relationship with running too. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit subscribe to follow along, and I will see you